Suzuki-san is putting, oh my God. You're insane! I'm Larry Chen. I've been shooting car culture all over the world for the past 18 years. From the best builds to the fastest races, I've seen it all. In this series, I'm highlighting the gearheads that inspire me in our generation. I've always had an affinity towards Japanese cars. In this episode, I find myself back in the land of the rising sun at the most famous drift track in the world, also known as Ebisu. My guest today is Andrew Gray, who just so happens to have the same love for Japan and its car culture as I do, but probably more as he now lives and works there. He's a Formula Drift Japan champion who easily has more laps on the legendary drift circuit than any other person in the world. We talk about what it's like to be the lone Scottish professional drifter in Japan and why he owns so many cars. He also introduces us to his friend who has a McLaren MP4-12C drift car. Andy, this is just a prime example of something that really surprises me, you know, because I've been shooting for so long and you think you've seen everything, but then you come to Ebisu circuit and then now we have two supercars that are actual drift cars. Ferrari 360 street car that you happen to drift.
Yes.
But this is really special. This is kind of an interesting trend that's been happening recently.
For sure.
For example, we just saw Darren Kelly bring a GT3 Aston Martin into Formula Drift and actually be somewhat competitive just after a couple events. This is a trend that I just didn't see coming. I think it's pretty cool. So when you heard Suzuki-san was building something like this with Daigo Saito, what did you think?
Oh, when's it coming to Ebisu? I thought. I'm like, is it fixed? I called him and he said they're trying to develop the clutch for it. So it's going to come to Ebisu soon, and then we had the opportunity to bring it here so you guys could check it out. And I was first in the queue to come and see it myself.
This lock to lock, it's pretty serious.
Yes, now is a big angle. 45 Racing making. Daigo Saito. Make Daigo Saito lower arm and upper arm. Now it's a big angle.
So it's exactly how it came off the race car, off the circuit, Super GT, and all they've done is modify the steering angle. So it's still only Sambiaku Breiki. It's still restricted for racing class, so there's still so much potential. Even to revert back to GT3 level, it would instantly jump the power up to over 500. This is very early development. I mean, first thing they've done is fix the steering lock.
Okay, so the motor is pretty stock.
Stock and regulated, so not even normal power compared to the street car. It's regulation for GT300, only around 300 horsepower.
The clutch, it's still paddle shifter.
Paddle, yes, only paddle.
Well, this is the world's first McLaren drift car.
To our knowledge, and it's pretty good knowledge, I guess,
I mean, because you can slide a McLaren around. You can get it sideways.
For sure.
I'm sure you can.
Any rear-wheel drive car, you'll make a good job of it, but you'll run out of luck, you're just going to rotate with a race car. That's why so many times when you watch a race, you think they're going to save it, and they can't. It's because the poor guy's got like that much luck, you know?
Right. And you don't want it to have that much luck anyways when you're going,
for sure,
180 miles an hour
made
down
for a
the
race
street.
purpose, exactly.
So what about the 360? What have you done to it to modify it for drifting?
No modified, only body kit. And suspension. And foil, exhaust only. No front knuckle, original.
He's coming from a race background and he's come over to drift, always done drifting as well. So he's a very accomplished driver. So it's sorry for him to jump in his car. If he makes a mistake, it's on him, you know.
If you do modify the motor, how much power do you think you can make out of this?
I think standard street McLaren, 650 horsepower.
twice what it's running just now. So even if you were to go standard, it'd be awesome, I think. We watch a lot of YouTube stuff ourselves, you know, the shops, DDE and Gintani and all these shops, and we were learning from them about how they have to overhaul the engine and forge the whole engine internals because they're at the limit at 650 already. So if you want to go more than that, then you have to put a lot of money into them. But even 650, we'd imagine, you'll see it go today, I imagine with 650 it'd be unreal.
Yeah, it's just so cool to me that this started out life as a factory race car, and now it's going to be shredding tires. So, can I ride in it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Let's see. Let's see how it goes.
Okay.
Okay, ready.
Press already.
I am so ready.
Air shifter, compressor.
How was it then?
I don't even, it's kind of hard to explain. There's just so many other sensations that you normally don't get in a drift car. For example, the shifting, when he's just going back down the back straight,
Yeah.
he is reaching an incredible speed. I feel like it's something that a drift car wouldn't be able to do.
We can
Right?
find out.
Is that why you brought down your,
Yeah, we had to do a bit of testing, so why not?
oh, testing,
Always testing, yeah.
testing.
This is the car I drove in the US. It was built partially in Ebisu, then completed with over in the US with my guys there. We then shipped it back to Japan and we ran it for a season and won the championship in 2019 with this car here.
I remember shooting this so many times in the US when you were competing in Formula Drift, but it was a lot more subtle back then. Unfortunately, we don't really get many of these in the US because you just can't find parts.
Well, I guess they didn't have them originally out there. You know, you guys had S14s, you guys had 180s, so it makes sense for them to use them as base cars for drift cars, whereas you never had these. I think now I've sent so many of these to the US recently, you're going to see a lot more of them because they are so good. They're the proper drift car. You can drift here at the circuit and then drive home and be in perfect comfort.
How much power does this put down right now?
It's probably about 1,000 at the engine, so 900 at the wheels. And it's always very hard to get a dyno figure on these ones because they'll always slip on the dyno, and we haven't got a hub dyno. This is our dyno right there. This main straight going on a slight uphill, and the big uphill over there, that's our dyno. So we don't have dyno figures, more how much it feels.
I'll go for a ride in this thing, cannot wait. Laps in.
Not much tire left.
Not much tire left, so we're gonna do another course, but it'll still be cool to feel this car. Andy, so
How was that?
because only recently, only this year, I started drifting on my own,
Oh, cool. That's good to hear.
I'm able to appreciate what you're doing.
That was sketchy. That's why I backed off, because I just didn't think there was much tire on the entry, and we still fell off the track.
I cannot believe how this feels.
You can't.
It's insane.
The modern competition cars, anyone that drives these sort of cars will tell you, 1,000 horsepower stop being, it's still fun to drift, but you have to be switched on. You can't do it with a big hangover and feeling a bit not quite right, because you have to be switched on, everything happens so fast. 600 horsepower in a 2J with a GT3, that's fun. You do that all day, my wife would jump in and enjoy it.
It's just so gripped up, and the misconception with a drift car like this is people think, oh, you don't have that much, you're not pulling that many Gs. But this thing actually moves out.
You can tell me.
The crazy thing to me is AO52s in the US, we use them for time attack, you know, and they're so sought after. But the fact that you just burn them off in 2.5 laps.
For sure, for sure. I remember they'd done it years ago in D1. There were guys using one of the Yokohama sport tires, and they were, I think, $1,000 each. Yeah, and you see the stacks of them. So yeah, good budget. Without tire manufacturer support, we couldn't do this. Who could afford this? No chance.
I'm so blown away. I love it so much. Pro drift car things.
Good fun day.
You know, the thing is, I've been photographing you for so many years, and we're in and out of the paddock. You know, I'm super busy at the events, you're super busy. We've never actually really had a chance to talk. With that said, I'm glad I came here to kind of check out Power Vehicles, which is your business. This is your day job.
That's it. It's a pair of vehicles. We're located inside the circuit. We're right bang in the middle.
So what do you actually do here for those people who don't know?
Our day job is sourcing vehicles for clients to send overseas. Also for guys who are coming here to drive. Before COVID, we were doing that a lot, but in the meantime, we've just gone back to our regular business of exporting cars. We sell in the domestic market as well. We sell to local Japanese guys. I've been here for 20 years, and through drifting and various contacts, I know just about everybody that need to know throughout Japan, all the main guys, all the big players. So
when you say source cars, you're talking about really high-end cars, like, for example, Kumakubo's very historic Team Orange D1 Evo.
That's right.
I had a chance to shoot this all those years ago when it was a new car.
Oh, wow.
You know, and now there's so many people that are getting into drifting. They grew up watching this, and, you know, there's just that nostalgia with these vehicles, even though realistically speaking, they don't hold a candle to the modern drift cars. A lot of people want to come here to drift. This is like the drift mecca. This is the place to get sideways. So you have people like Adam LZ, Chelsea Donofa.
Yeah, Chelsea's been here. Chris Forsberg's been here.
What do? They buy a vehicle.
They buy a car, because you just can't rent a car. Like I never say, you don't loan your girlfriend, you don't loan a drift car. We sell the cars to them at whatever level. It used to be at whatever level and whatever budget you can afford before the prices went crazy. Now it's a different game. But back in the day, we could sell you from like $6,000. You could get a drift car, come here and drift, keep the car. It was for nothing.
So with that said, they buy the car, they store it here. They come here, and then it's ready to go, and they go drift.
No worrying about how noisy it is, about shacking, you know, registration, all that sort of stuff. We take the cats off, we can make them loud. Very lucky, Ebisu's not too worried about the rules, noise regulations. We're very lucky that way, so we can just go out there and have fun.
It's already crazy to me how much you do with Power Vehicles, but another part of what you do is actually compete as a professional driver. You are a Formula Drift champion, and on top of that, you've competed overseas. How do you have so much time and effort to put into your professional driving?
I think before, the biggest key I've learned is I didn't start a family till very late. You know, I'm now in my 40s and I've got 2 young children, so I'm going to have to go down that road, whether it's good or bad. You know, I'm focused on my family now. I've not got so much time for competing. I'm not driving so much. And of course, the business is what funds all the fun and, you know, provides for your family. So I have to focus on the family and the business, and the drifting's coming third these days. Back then, you know, before I had the kids, the drifting was a major part of my life.
Yeah, do you think your professional driving and what you've accomplished as a drifter has kind of shined some light on what you're doing?
For sure, it's all worked hand in hand. You know, it's definitely helped. But then you could argue I put so much time into drifting, could have put that into the business and done well. So who knows? But I'm definitely happy. I've got no regrets. You know, I loved my time doing FD.
Let's check out some of these cars. This thing actually stood out to me. As soon as we pulled up, I was like, what is this?
It's a UFO, isn't it?
Yeah, it looks so crazy. Is it a drift car?
No, it's what we call like a Wangan, a fast street car. I believe it was built by R.E. Yamamiya, the most famous rotary tuner, for Auto Salon or for a client, but this is an extremely modified car. It's a Unis Cosmo, triple rotor. They chopped the roof. As you can see, there's a standard one beside you. If you look at the roof, sort of bulges up. This is completely flat, so like it's had a bit of work. Yeah, I think they kept the windshield. So yeah, T88 triple rotor, so they should be making big power.
This is for going 300 kilometers an hour on the Wangan.
And sounding very different, yeah, from all the usual 2Js and RB26s. This is a bit special. Craziest thing is the back end, the diffuser, and the interior is pretty wild.
This is a unique one.
Yeah.
Is there another car that we should take a look at?
Cool Chaser. This is going to your friends at RMC.
Oh!
So you're going to see this in the US.
So Danny, I'll come down to Miami and shoot this with you.
This is a kind of like a street car by Japanese standards. It's not a drift car. It's got our Kazama Auto Pro Modero kit on it and fully modified engine. I think it was built by one of the famous Japanese tuners called Friends Racing. You know Friends? One of Japan's top tuners. They built it all.
And so this shop is actually where you do a lot of the things that you need to do before you ship
That's
these
right, this is
cars.
where all these cars are waiting for some time and space in there. So we've got to do our own cars, customer cars, prepare the race cars, get the cars ready for the customers coming. So yeah, it's high demand for a space in there right now always.
Last thing we're gonna do is we're gonna check out the Togue course.
Sure.
It's like a mountain road.
Exactly.
And it's carved out of the mountain in the forest here.
Yeah.
And that's actually a drift track, full on
For sure,
drift
it's
track.
just like a road replica track, a mountain pass replica track.
All right, we're gonna check that out. What was the ride like?
It was like it's like Splash Mountain but without the water. Yeah. Wait, Splash Mountain with Disneyland?
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever that one is. The teacup ride.
Thank you guys for watching my new Hagerty show. I really wanted to feature automotive trendsetters in our generation. Without Pennzoil, this series wouldn't be possible. They are enthusiasts like us, they believe in car culture, and they want to keep it alive. Pennzoil supports a lot of racing, drifting, and hill climb, and everything in between. They also support a lot of our friends. On top of that, we run Pennzoil in all of our project cars. I hope you like this content because we have a lot coming your way.